Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And now to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. Representing the three-time Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils, Arlette.
I feel like I'm at a game. Oh my gosh. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Happy Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, season 4, episode 35, titled Devils Forwards Best and Worst of All Time. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Scotty of Sirius XM, Liquid Metal, and Beer Baron, the home improvement extraordinaire, watches his wife climb up on top of a roof while he supervises. I'm your host, Sam Wu, streaming live on Facebook Live, Twitter Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network. Hello, everybody. I hear somebody's fan on.
Air conditioning.
In my ear. Is it air conditioning?
It's not mine. It's not mine. It's hot as
Don't
balls.
worry. Don't worry about it. Nobody's listening.
Yeah.
Was that mine? Maybe that was mine. Sorry.
Who cares? Okay. It's not like anybody's listening anyways. Can't say son of a bitch on the air. Anyways. So how's it going, gentlemen? How's it going? We're taking away the weeks as we're inching closer to the season. I know last week we had that really fun conversation about the defensemen of the Devils and kind of not really ranking them, but talking about ones we like and some of the better and worst of all time. But now we're talking about the forwards. But go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, before we even start, let's just say, for anyone out there who donated to a wonderful dog that wasn't actually Beer Baron's, thank you very much. However, it was not his, and his Facebook link got it. It's funny. It's very, very funny because when I saw that post go up, I'm just like, this idiot. He knows, bulldog. He knows bulldogs are expensive. Why is he look? I'm like this. I'm gonna pay for this myself. I'm gonna call him up right now. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Nikki used to have English bulldogs. She knows what this. Yeah. This can't be right. And then literally maybe 5 minutes later, get my Facebook got hacked, guys. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I sound like a Neanderthal when my Facebook got hacked. Oh, I'm a moron. I'm gonna go hit my head into a wall. No, yeah, it happened. Listen,
and then Nikki will come and fix it afterwards.
Which is what happened. But I mean, to be honest with you, what is the sad part about the whole situation is there are people that fell for the scam, and there's people that are out there that set up scams like this. In all seriousness, for me, it sucked because the person switched my email, they switched all of my passwords, every way you could get into your Facebook, they completely changed it. So it was an absolute nightmare. And I'm watching this GoFundMe. I'm getting text messages out the wazoo from people like, "I'm sorry about your dog. I didn't know you had another dog." I'm like, "I don't. It's a scam." Dude, it was like, and it started at like 6:30 in the morning. I got like a text from somebody like, "Yo, man, I'm sorry about your dog." And I'm like, "The hell are you talking about? He's sleeping on the bed right here. He's totally fine." And it was just a nightmare. So yeah, thankfully, Nikki, hey, listen, being a tattoo artist, you get to know a lot of people, and you kind of know people in like every single industry. So she luckily knew somebody that used to work for Facebook. We got it situated. People were refunded their money from GoFundMe, so it's all taken care of. My dog is fine. His name is Archie, not Maisie, by the way. I don't have a golden whatever doodle. He's a little French bulldog.
Like, what happened to his face? I was looking at that was the other thing that gave it away for me as well. I was just like, oh, that's not his dog.
Well, what made it even funnier is whoever hacked my account, they blocked certain people that tried to like warn people that it was fake. So my brother wrote on it, he said, "Scott is a giant Rangers fan and named his dog Maisie after Mark Messier. And if you know anything about him, you know none of this is true." So I thought that was clever. It was clever enough to get him blocked by this phony
What was the dog's
guy.
name? What was the dog's name?
Maisie, I think, or something like that. I think it's Maisie.
He may run like Maze, but he hits like...
yeah, exactly. Every time you pop
everyone,
one up.
Thank you to everyone that did donate out there, if anyone did here, and glad that you got refunded.
Sorry
but
you
just
got
to let
tricked. I feel real
know,
bad about that.
I'll tell you what.
Your fault.
I'll tell you what. Let's think of something positive before we move on. Look how many people that actually cared about your dog and actually donated. If that were
fake dog,
my fake dog. And by the way, I don't knock GoFundMe because there's a lot of people that use it, and there's a lot of people that actually use it for the right reasons. I don't think I would hopefully ever need to do that. But if I did, I'm sure I would talk to my close friends first to be like, "Hey, would you mind helping me out or something like that, or my family?" So if you ever see a GoFundMe from me that has something to do with me or my family, don't donate to it. It's probably a scam, or at least contact me first before you just start throwing money around. People, you need to contact other people. If it's your friend, contact them and then say, "Hey, is this for real? Okay, all right, I'll donate to you and help you out." So
these statements might come back to haunt you in years down the road.
God,
Don't donate to me. Don't donate to me.
If you know it, but I would be out there saying like, "Hey, this is a real thing, so please help donate."
Yeah.
So, anyways, but that was fun.
That gave it away that this was fake. I was just like, this is not foray. I was like, he would never do that.
No,
but anyway,
not a million years.
Thank you to everyone. But yeah, now we should talk about some Devils forwards, right? We're going to talk about best and worst forwards of all time. Because you were saying it last week, we went over all the defensemen, and that's what we're doing right now before we get into the training camp. What is training camp? 2-3 weeks away?
September 15th, I think.
September 15th, right?
2 weeks away. 2 weeks away.
Yeah. So next week, maybe we could talk about some goalies, not named Brodeur, and then after that, it's going to be like, who's on the training camp roster? We should have everything kind of filled out, hopefully, or to a good extent. Might even have some camp invites out there. We'll see what happens. See who's still available. See if there's been any other movement around the league. We all know we're waiting for things to drop over there in Long Island. There's some couple other names that are Buffalo as well. There's some things that are on the horizon. May not really affect the Devils too much yet. Well, could affect the teams in their division. So, we're going to keep an eye on that. But this week, we're doing all these best and worst of forwards. And there's a lot. So if you got any, please feel free to hit us up on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube Live, everywhere that you might be watching this show right now. Even if you're listening to it afterwards and you still just want to tweet us, you can let us know. We love it. We love the feedback. Primetime Sam Wu loves the feedback. So
Plus email.
Make sure you give it to him.
Sam at
There you go.
letsgodevils.com. Yeah, Sam at letsgodevils.com. I answer emails now. I didn't for about a year.
There you go.
But now I'm starting to answer emails.
Oh, see, look at that. Very sweet. But I think it might be a good idea because last week we kind of jumped into some of the big boys really quick. How about we go backwards, and start at the, the back end of, the Devils forwards. And there's some things that, really actually kind of jumped out to me. Well, yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that, but it's funny looking at it, and there's a couple of names that I actually remember, and they only played one game, which is crazy.
Oh, that's weird. So can you pop off one of them right off the top of your head? The one game, the one that you were like, okay. Oh yeah, you played.
So here's someone that I remember. Oh wait, where is it now? Now I lost it. Oh no!
How dare you?
This person I remember because the name is very similar to someone else who played many games for our team, Stefan Richer. But I could have swore that this particular person played a lot more than just one game, and that's Stefan Velu.
Oh yeah.
Who?
Stefan Velu. Do you not remember Stefan Velu? I think he played for Minnesota as well. No?
No, you know what? That's not ringing a bell.
Alrighty. Okay. All right.
That's not ringing a bell.
Let me give you another one. All right. Let me give you another one here. Okay. Someone that has only played. Oh no! Wait. That was the only one game person. Hang on. Let's go to. There was someone else on here that really stuck out to me as like, oh, I remember that person. I thought they were going to be really good.
Pierre Dauphiné?
No, yeah. No, he's on the. He is on the list though.
Eric Bolton. Is it Eric Bolton? Is that who you're looking for?
It wasn't Eric Bolton. Joe Whitney only played 5 games for us.
Eric Bolton played 51. Just so that was part of my. There's like this whole enforcer category that we should talk about. What about Esa Tikkanen? Did you forget about Esa Tikkanen? Who could forget about Esa Tikkanen?
Is he on here?
Yeah, Esa Tikkanen played 9 games for the Devils.
Really? Why am I not seeing that on here?
He was kind of like Claude Lemieux's replacement. When Claude went to...
there it is.
Went
there
to Colorado.
Go. You're right. You are correct.
Oh,
sir.
Peter Verona. I remember Peter Verona because I always thought Peter Verona. I thought Peter Verona was going to actually turn into something really good. Never did. By the way, you know who I was really while you're looking this up, I want to throw a name out there that I'm really disappointed in because I have like a couple names that I want to throw out there that I know. Like I said last week, a lot of our fans are a little bit younger and things like that. And even if we have very well-rounded ages and stuff like that, I feel like a lot of people connect to the more recent teams than a lot of the older teams. And I'm not saying older like the cup run teams. I'm talking about like the 80s and stuff like that because there's a lot of guys in there that we could probably pull out of our hat. And there's a good majority of the people that would sit there and be like, oh, I don't even know if I was alive when this person was playing for the Devils. There's a couple names on the Devils that I had so much hope for. And we kind of went over this with the defenseman last week. I'll throw one out there. Joey Anderson. I was very disappointed when the Devils traded him away recently because I thought that if you give him more time and more time to develop in the NHL, would turn into a pretty solid forward for the Devils. I'm not saying that he would be, a lights out, top 2 or top 6 winger, but at the same time, I felt like he had potential to be something pretty good. Here's one that a blast from the past that you could agree with. Everybody had some kind of high hopes for, and nothing panned out. The name Matthias Tedenbee.
I was about to say that.
Yes.
Well, he did, but believe it or not, he actually played a large amount of games for the team. I was actually going to get to that in a little bit. There's a lot of buzz on there. Here's a couple that I was actually surprised at. You remember old Peter Zezel? Do you remember Peter Zezel?
Yes. Yep.
Only 23 games. Who can forget this name? Michael Grabner.
Oh. You know what?
21
about Grabner.
21 horrific. It feels like he was here for 3 years. He only played 21 games.
He was one of those dudes that I used to not like to play again, or like not like to see the Devils play against. Put it that way. But one of the coolest moments ever. Moments ever. And I'm going to see if you remember this, was when we met Marty, and it was a game. The game after they played the Islanders, when Grabner was an Islander, and we were standing there talking to him, and you brought up the game, and you're like, man, you had like that game was, whatever, the Devils won, and he talked about a breakaway that Grabner had, and he was like sitting there talking to us about, oh my God, he's so fast and blah 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 blah. And maybe it was that moment that I was like, wow, Marty was like really high on this guy, that I always had this like special kind of, glimmer in my eye for Grabner. And then when he became a Devil, I was like, oh man, this might be it. This could be one of those little pieces that pushes us at least into the second round. And nothing.
Right.
Can I go back to the Tedenbee thing real quick? How bad that was? I remember when he. Well, we're gonna get.
Do you want to get to what you? Okay, go ahead.
Why, you guys going to talk about Tedenbee a little bit later?
Yeah, we're going to talk about Tedenbee a little later. We're going to talk about Tedenbee.
All right.
We're going to talk about Tedenbee.
You want to talk about? You want to talk about right now?
I'll talk about it right now. I'll talk about it.
Nah, let's go back to the other thing. Forget it. I'm just messing with you. All right. I was going to talk about him and Jacob Josephson, because actually I was shocked the amount of games that both of them actually got in as a New Jersey Devil. They played a lot more than I thought.
Well, that's when Conti had this like Swedish thing going on. Bert Fors, Tedenbee, Josephson. But what hurts about Tedenbee, not only was he talented, but at the time, I was hoping that the Devils would actually draft John Carlson, defenseman.
Yep.
With Rafalski moving on and Niedermeyer moving on and all that. That's what really hurts the most.
From New Jersey. From New Jersey.
So so check this out. We were just talking about Michael Grabner. So only 21 games. Felt like three seasons with him. But just look at this range of 3 different players. All of them only played 21 games with the team. Okay, Michael Grabner, and then go back for Peter Sundstrom. Okay, and then how about the prospect that never was? Devils fans around our age, I'm sure will remember this name, Matt Halaschuk.
Oh yeah, Matt Halaschuk.
He was supposed 3 of those guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Matt Halaschuk was supposed to be something.
How about this? You remember? And there's another one right there. All 3 of these guys only played 20 games. John Sebastian D, or was it Day? John Sebastian Day.
Day.
He actually impressed. I think he got a contract somewhere. Is he with the? No, I don't remember where he's at.
He came from Pittsburgh. He was one of Shiro's Pittsburgh reclamation projects, where he thought he was going to come to the Devils and like make a dent, and he just never cracked the lineup.
So
or did he get hurt? Something like that.
Barry Talixon. Remember Barry?
Who can forget? Who can forget?
Barry Barry, don't call me bait and tackles. Oh man. Oh wait, I got a couple more here for you. Oh, here's one that still drives me crazy to this day. Another someone who didn't turn out, Matt D'Agostino. Remember D'Agostino? Matt D'Agostino? Jan Herdina. But how about this? Friggin' Bobby Butler. Do you remember Bobby Butler when he came to the team? He had a rocket shot, except he can only shoot it straight into the goalie's chest every single time he shot, and he never scored like any goals. But you saw him fire, and you were just like, whoa, but nothing, just into the goalie's chest every single time. Bobby Butler.
Every time.
14 games with the team. That's it.
Pat Maroon had 17 games with the Devils, but he felt like he was one of those guys who were like, only 17 games.
17, right? Like, that's crazy. Some of these guys,
it is.
You feel like they had a bigger impact for, for the amount of time that they were around here. Willie Mitchell only, it's defense, sorry. Whoops, wrong one. Oh, Bob Cork. That was the other thing. Patrick Maroon and Bob Corkum both played only 17 games for the Devils.
Yep.
That's when you hear those names, they stick out in your head. Someone like Darren Langdon, you're like, oh, that's right. We did have him, 1 year, for 14 games. But then you say like Bobby Butler or, Patrick Maroon. It's just like, oh, wow. Yeah, I remember those. Wow, really? Same amount of time?
Hold on. So I have a question for you. Without looking it up.
Go for it.
Who played more games for the Devils? Ilya Kovalchuk.
Damn, I was gonna do this this test for you as well. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. Ilya Kovalchuk or Taylor Hall?
Oh. Ooh, that's a good one. Kovalchuk.
Kovalchuk 224, Taylor Hall I believe was like 211 or something like that. Kovalchuk had 222. I'm sorry, 222. Because I was also going to comment on how Steve Bernier had more games played as a Devil than Ilya Kovalchuk. He had 224. All right, you want to try another one?
Okay, go for it. Oh, there was one. I got to find the one. There's a really good one actually. Go ahead. I'll find one.
All right. Let's see. Hold on. I want to go into the middle of the pack here. My internet is running a little slow.
All right. I'm gonna try and pronounce this name.
Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Victor Kozlov. Victor Kozlov. Or Kevin Rooney.
Oh damn, that's who I wanted to do. Kevin Rooney with someone else. Who's Kevin Rooney right next to, as well? If you're looking at games played,
Joe Nieuwendyk.
That's right. That was going to be my
right
question to
Joe
you.
Nieuwendyk.
Who had more games played, Nieuwendyk or Rooney? And you're just like, what?
I would have guessed Rooney though.
I'm going to say Rooney. Because he was in there on the fourth line like every night. Yeah, he's another one like Tedenbee, like Joseph.
95 games.
Yeah. How about this name? How about this name? Oh man, I don't even know if I'm going to say it right. Ika, was it Pecorin? Pecorani? How do you say Pecorin? I don't even remember. You remember that guy?
I do.
Pecorani?
That's not how you pronounce it, but I know who you're talking about.
Pecorin? I don't remember how to pronounce that name.
Sam, where'd you go?
Someone help me out. Pierre Desjardins, right? 25 games.
Steve Sullivan. Steve Sullivan.
Oh, man. Steve, I wish you never left our team, Sullivan. I think he played for, I think it was only a year, or was it 2 years that he was with us? So I'm going to say...
it was a year. Because the amount of games he played,
I think it was like 50 some, I would say.
It was around the 50s, yeah. All right, so here's another one.
You don't have them open. You're asking me trivia questions.
No, I do, but I scrolled it. I scrolled past this name. All right, here's another one.
You scrolled it.
Here's one for you. You ready?
Oh boy. Yep.
Yeah, I know. Alexei Panakarowski. or Mike McLeod, who has more games? Ponikarovsky or Mike McLeod?
Oh, McLeod.
Yes. I was kind of surprised by that. I didn't realize McLeod's already got 85 games under his belt or something around there.
Here's one that surprised me. Pascal Rayom. Remember old Pascal Rayom? Only 35 games played on the Devils. Only
Hey, what's an interesting fact about him?
That his sister played goalie for the Tampa Bay Lightning?
Not his sister. Wasn't that his mother? Was that his mother or her sister? I don't know.
I don't know. Remember old Vern Fiddler?
Yeah,
Half
of course.
a season?
Of course.
39 games. It's kind of odd. Pascal Rayom to me, I feel like he left a more lasting impression from those past Devils teams. And there's Vern Fiddler, playing 4 more games overall. And he was only on the team that 1 year. But Vern was in there every single night. John Hayden played 43 games for the... who played more? John Hayden or Stefan Matteau? Oh, there's a bust for
John
you.
Hayden. John Hayden. Because Stefan
You
Matteau
are
played
incorrect.
Am I incorrect about that for real?
Matteau played 44. John Hayden played 43. There's a bust for you. Andre Salomonson. Oh man.
I remember him. I remember him.
Oh yeah.
Salomonson.
Matthew Carente.
I remember Matthew
34
Carente.
games. And actually, speaking, where we are right now, we should, say something, it happened earlier in the week, but, also at 33 games, Jimmy Hayes, suddenly passing away. And, we just obviously want to send our love and condolences, out to the family. And just, Jimmy played, sparingly on the team, but, from all accounts from everybody, he was a really good guy. So it's just very sad to see,
He made a big impact on the short amount of time that he was here. And that's the funny thing too, is, there's guys that come into the locker room that make a big impact, and there's guys that walk into the locker room and everybody's like, oh, we played with that dude. But very sad to see. Terrible news. But and I'm not trying to shift gears. I'm not trying to shift gears away from that. Obviously.
No. But we send our love and condolences out, to the Hayes family and everything like that. Here's a name for you. Remember this one?
Okay.
Oh, all right. Here's a good one. Who played more games? Bo Bennett. Remember old Bo Bennett? Or Reed Simpson. Remember that name? Reed.
I do.
Simpson.
Reed was a tough dude.
Old tough guy. I think he replaced Oliwa when Oliwa left.
I believe you're right. I'm going to say Reed Simpson had more games.
You would be incorrect. It was a trick question. They both have 65 games played in a New Jersey Devil sweater. I got to. Well, here's a good one for you.
Okay.
Who has? Oh wait. It's not this page. Ooh, let me get to this page. It's surprising. This one over here. Where is he? Oh man, I can't find the exact number. I want to make sure that I get the exact number here. Who has played more games for the New Jersey Devils? Okay. Was it Grant Marshall or was it Cam the Slam Jansen?
Cam Jansen.
You are correct, sir. Believe it or not, Cam Jansen played 171 games in a New Jersey Devils sweater.
Both friends of the podcast, by the way.
Great friends of the podcast. But more than Jeff Friesen, more than Sean Burke, more than Sean Chambers, more than Keith Kincaid, Henrik Telinder. Wow, Yager. Remember old Yamir Yager over there?
How many games? I was looking for Yager. How many games did he have under his belt?
Yager has, where to go? I just lost it. 139. Look at this collection at 171 games played for the Devils. Cam Jansen, Ryan Carter, Mike Camilleri. That's a lot of games for Camilleri right there.
That is crazy.
A lot of games.
He looked miserable the entire time he was here. He was like, I don't want to be here. Lou begrudgingly gave me number 13.
And here he is, right where we were talking about. Here's a good one for you. More games played in a Devil sweater, Jack Hughes or Matthias Tedenbee?
More games than a Jack Hughes sweater, and more
Jack Hughes or
Tedenbee's got more. Tedenbee's got
just
more
barely.
games.
Yeah, by 3 games, 120 to 117. But listen to some of these names right here. Right in this old section. Matthias Tedenbee, Sergei Kalinin. I can't believe Sergei Kalinin played 121 games in a Devil sweater. Jim Dowd, Alexander Mogilny, Tuomo Rutu, Michael Reiner played 129 games. Brendan Morrison, 131 games. Drew Stafford and Brian Boyle both played 116. Those are some big, Stafford hung around there and was a good, kind of extra man there, filling in on some third line, fourth line work when some injuries happened. And Boyle was just, he was Iron Man. He was out there every night, but he was here for only 2 years. He was here, right?
I think Boyle was here for, I think he was here for a year. Or was it 2 years? Jesus, that felt like.
I think it might have been 2 years. All right, here's a good one. Yager or Jordan Tutu? Who played more games in a Devil sweater?
Tutu.
Incorrect, sir. That would be Jaromir Jagr. 139 to 134. Okay.
Tutu became an instant Devils favorite, but I love that guy once he came into the NHL.
Oh, Tutu? Yeah, man.
All right, I got a question for you.
All right.
Without looking, put your phone away because I don't want you looking. And you probably already saw it, so I don't know. I don't know if you could say it without looking at this list. All right.
Okay. All right.
What American leads the Devils in games played as a forward? So what American-born player?
Games
played. Because defenseman,
so
if you added defenseman, Andy Green would win that.
Well, and it's got to be one of the other G's, I would think. It's either Brian Gianta or Scott Gomez. I think it's one or the other. I'm going to go Brian Gianta.
You're going Brian Gianta. All right, so let me throw that question out to our Facebook, our YouTube, Twitter, everywhere that everybody's listening.
You're gonna make me wait.
Because I was gonna tell you what, you got it wrong. So since you got it wrong, and he's number
Scott Gomez then.
He's number, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's 7th out of the Americans.
He's
7th.
Gianta? Where's Gomez?
Gianta was number 7. Gomez is number 2. So now I just took 2 of the people off the board. So my friends at home, watching at home on YouTube, watching home at any of these things that we mentioned like a million times. Who is the all-time leader in games played, American-born forward for the Devils?
Jamie Langenbrunner. No, not Jamie Langenbrunner.
Tyler B on YouTube says Parisi, and he is wrong.
Incorrect.
Zach
was hurt too much. A lot of years, but too many injuries.
Check the Facebook Live there, Scotty. See what they say on the Facebook Live.
They said you should have gave me the answer already.
Why? It wouldn't be fun. Fan interaction, man. Fan interaction. Oh, I can't talk.
I don't know. My wait, it's catching up, so I have no idea. Who am I missing?
So you said Gomer. Gomer is number 2.
I said Gomez, Gianta, and Langenbrunner.
Parisi is number 6. Gianta's number 7.
A fun fact. Langenbrunner actually played in a lot more games than Parisi. That was one of the ones that I was shocked to see.
Langenbrunner played in 564, and Parisi played in 502. And by the way, Langenbrunner is actually 4th on this list. Number 3 kind of surprised me because I didn't realize he was on the team for that long. All right, so I think time.
Wow.
Enough time has passed.
I'm not gonna say it. That's a good one. And it's so obvious now.
Jay Pandolfo. Jay Pandolfo is the answer that we're looking for. 819 games as a New Jersey Devil. Scott Gomez came in second place, not too far behind. Well, actually pretty far behind, 606.
Pretty far behind, yeah.
Aaron Broughton. Aaron Broughton was...
3, yeah.
Aaron Broughton came in at 581. Okay, well, number 5, I have his jersey hanging in my closet.
Well, let's talk about number 4 was Langenbrunner there at 5.
Number 4 was Langer.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah.
And who would you think? Come on, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter. Who would you think? American-born forward. Someone's been on the team a long time. Maybe more than one stint.
Yeah, 2 to be exact. I was very disappointed to see him go the first time when he left, and then he went and played pretty damn well for teams like Boston. Maybe that will give it away.
Yeah, he probably just gave it away there. Jeez.
Not necessarily. But I will say this. I bought his jersey, not his original number. Not his original number, but his number when he came back to the Devils. I think I was originally getting the jersey to have somebody else's name on the back. And when he came back, I got super pumped, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this jersey. And then when I wear it, it's funny because people are like, why do you have that? And I'm like, why not?
Well, Chris McDowell got it. That would be Brian Ralston on the old Facebook. Good job there, Chris.
Yeah, buddy. I got the Brian Ralston number 12 because what number did he originally wear when he won the cup with the Devils in 95?
I think he was 14, wasn't he?
He was number 14. Came into the league number 14, left the league number 12.
Some real interesting numbers on here, though. Thinking about, Brendan Shanahan, and then you look right above that and you see Pavel Zacha.
Damian Rasputin,
Miles
by
Wood.
the way. Damian Rasputin on YouTube Live, he actually got Ralston correct. And then Tyler B says the slap shot king. Damn straight. Ralston did have a hell of a shot. More of a matter if he could hit the net or not.
Oh, Valeri Zelapukin. There's a Bill Guerin. Wow. Look at Kyle Palmieri up there. 397 games. Claude Lemieux. David Clarkson. Wow.
Dave Andrechuk.
Rico. Pat Verbeek. Man, Peter Sikora. So many good names here. A lot of good memories.
A lot of good memories.
There's one of my favorites. Randy McKay. Randy
the Rocket.
Breland. Randy the Rocket, baby. And we got to talk about John Mcclane, too. Johnny Mack. Of course, we had a little issue there with the head coaching stint, but, assistant coaching was very well. Time as a forward, very well. Scored the old goal to get us into the playoffs there. What in blah 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 blah. Was it 87 against Chicago? 88, 87, 88. Why am I blanking? Sam Wu, you can help me out there.
Was it 88?
And then Patty, of course, man. It's funny. We were talking about that game where Patrick Elias got the most points. It was the same game where Brodeur got the wins record, and I was lucky enough to be there. I don't know if anybody listening right now happened to have been at that game. It was 2009, St. Patrick's Day. My birthday happens to be the 18th, so I used to go every year as a little annual trip with a bunch of friends and stuff.
That was always
like
a good game.
And
that was always a fun game to go to.
it was always a fun game, but that was the best game. Like it was so money. The place was packed. Everybody was drinking. It was St. Patrick's Day. It was just a good time. It was just one of the most fun games.
Good times roll.
Oh yeah, I mean there was so much buzz with Marty, about to set the record that it was a wonderful, happy surprise that Patrick Eliash, got his record the same exact night. Of course, Marty let that goal in right after. I don't know if you saw it, but like Marty lets in a goal like right as they're going through the announcements for Patrick Eliash, and I remember everyone being like, "Yeah." Oh, what happened? Chicago scored. That was the only thing wrong with that game. Other than that, it was perfect. It was an awesome night. Atmosphere, at the Rock. That was only the arena was only 3 years old at that time. 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, like building that foundation of, hey, this is a place with new memories and new good times. Like having that game happen there was awesome. And Patrick Eliash being one of my all-time favorite players, being there for that record night. I still got the ticket. I still got everything, man. It was sick. He's such a good player.
Dude, Eliash, hands down, my favorite Devil of all time. I have, I don't know, probably about 14 jerseys in my closet. I feel like every time they put out a new like retro jersey or a new alternate jersey, I'm screwed forever because I'm going to have to get it because I'm like, I'm not going to get a new one. Ooh, that looks really sweet. I got to get that. I have majority of my Devils jerseys in my closet are Eliash jerseys because he was my all-time favorite. Everybody had the Marty jersey, everybody had the Stevens jersey, like early in the run of Eliash, and then I was like, I remember buying his jersey and being like, I like this guy a lot, and it was before he was like, one of the more popular Devils at the time, and then like the Devils, the first year they did the retro jersey, you had a choice between Marty, Eliash, and Parisi. And that's when Parisi was like, everybody loved Parisi. So everybody had either the Parisi or the Marty one. I was like, hell no, man. I'm going with the Patty one. And I have a green St. Patrick's Day Devils jersey that I want to put St. Patrick on the back and then get number 26 on it eventually, whenever I get around to doing that. But yeah, best, in my opinion, obviously, statistically, the best Devils forward of all time is Patrick Eliash. But just consistency. And if he didn't get sick, I see Sam laughing about something. What are you laughing about, Sam? You pop up and start giggling.
When I get around to it, why don't you just tell Nikki to sew you a jersey?
She probably could. It's the best part. Yeah, I love that you guys like laugh about it. And I'm like, yeah, it's true. I love it. My wife is amazing, and she could do a million things, and it's awesome.
Honestly, it is amazing. I'm just amazed every time something happens. Like you get your Facebook hacked. Nikki saves the day. There's a roof leak. She saves the day. But
no. That wasn't a roof leak. The weird thing about that is, so we have this new light that in our driveway, and it's a solar light. And I had it put up on the side of the house, and she was like, we should put that up on the roof. I can't go up on roofs. I don't do well with heights. I can go on the top of a ladder. I can stand on the top of a ladder, but I can't go on my roof. I tried to hang my Christmas lights up a couple years ago, and I got stuck up there for a while. It was a disaster. So she can go up on a roof, and she can like sit on the edge of the roof, and it doesn't bother her at all, right? So she goes up there. She like puts the solar panel in. But she's scared of ladders. So she's afraid of I'm afraid of going on a roof. She's afraid of the ladder. So look, man, we work together. It's a cohesive team over here. So we kind of balance each other out. But yeah, it was quite funny. I'm looking up there and I'm like, I yell up to her. I'm like, I got to take a picture and send it to the guys because they get a kick out of this. So
that's after that you got your Facebook figured out.
Yeah, pretty much. What a day, man. What a day. Busy day. It was a busy day. A lot of running around. But anyways, back to the forward.
All right.
Sam, you popped up. Go ahead. Sam wants to say something about Eliash.
Well, I mean, when he came up, I mean, you knew that there was potential, but once that A line was put together, it was unstoppable. I mean, the chemistry. I was a big Arnott fan out of that whole line. I like Eliash, I like Sikora, but I was just a bigger Arnott fan for whatever reason. Probably because when that guy took a shot from the point, because he played the point on the power play, he was the he was the fourth forward. That on the left point, anytime he took a shot, it was like everybody had to move out.
Yeah,
and it was just awesome, and he had soft hands like Mario Lemieux, where you can that goal mouth scramble. Elias to it wasn't a goal mouth scramble, but Elias on the corner flips it to Arnott, boom, Stanley Cup.
By the way, and there's something about that pass and that goal. If you watch the interview with Arnott afterwards, he talks about how it was the perfect pass. Eliash, first of all, if you watch the whole play, when he's going into the corner, he looks over his shoulder and basically makes a blind pass, a backhanded blind pass. Just digs it out of the corner, but he knew exactly where Arnott was. It was the perfect play. In fact, they used it for a couple of years ago. If you remember, they had those awesome commercials leading into the Stanley Cup Finals where it was what if something didn't happen, and it was what if Eliash didn't make the perfect pass, and they rewind it. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And it goes from them chucking off the gloves and celebrating, and they rewind it back to, and you see him. It was the perfect play, but that in my opinion, that epitomized who he was as a player. Eliash was the perfect forward for this team. Wasn't super. He was a superstar on his team when his team didn't. And I hate to say this because people would argue with me all day. Of course they had superstars. They had Brodeur and they had Stevens but this team didn't have superstars in a traditional sense. Didn't have a Mario Lemieux or a Gretzky or something like that. But Eliash was. Well, I'll be buried in an Eliash jersey. I'll put it that way.
And if you rewind back to the Flyers series when he had that game-winning goal right in front of Brian Boucher, down 3-1.
Clutch.
Devils tie at 3-3. Game 7, the Lindros hit, and then there was Eliash right in front of the crease and puts it home. Just like that.
That celebration. Yeah.
I think, though, Eliash got really hurt by that lockout, that year-long lockout, because that's where he got sick, if you remember. He had Hep A. He was gravely ill. And somehow he was able to play in the 2005-2006 season. Was already, remarkable because, back from the dead practically. How sick he was. And most people don't realize what he had to do, not only to survive, but could he even play again? Yeah. And he won a 7-year contract. Was it 7-year, $42 million or $49 million? Summer 2007 or 2007, I believe. Both Langenbrunner, I think it was both Langenbrunner and Eliash, those big contracts. So, but point well taken.
So, I got a little trivia question. Can you name the 3 forwards then that were on the ice for the Stars? Because we were just talking about the Dallas Stars goal with the backhand pass, the cup winning. I'll give you that. Can you name the 5 Devils that were on the ice?
The 5 Devils that were on the ice? Scott Stevens was definitely on the ice. Stevens was one of the defensemen. So who was his partner?
You got 3 of them. Who were the other 2?
Sikora was already out because Sikora got taken out. That's the series that he got concussed.
Yep.
Who the hell replaced Sikora on that line? Was it Breland?
That's what everyone always trips up on. That's what everyone trips up.
Was it Breland that took it?
It was Mo Gilney that was out there.
Was it McGill? Oh, you're right.
Wow.
You're right.
Wow.
It's what everyone always trips up on. And Rafalski was Steven's partner.
And Rafalski was Steven.
But everyone always thinks Arnott, Eliash, and they'll just be like, oh, Sikora. And they forget that that's when Hatcher took that cheap shot on him earlier in the game there, and he got knocked him out. And then
he was in the hospital.
Was out there. Yeah, Larry Robinson was out there on the ice at the end in Peter's jersey, celebrating the cup win and everything like that. So,
well, also Eliash put Peter's jersey on backwards, so he had Peter's name on the front. He had Sikora's name on the front of his chest.
Oh yeah,
I
think Larry eventually took the jersey and put it on. And was walking around with it. Yeah, Coach Larry Robinson, if no one remembers.
Yep.
Do you guys remember the two forwards that Larry Robinson mentioned after they won the Stanley Cup that contributed? Do you remember the two forwards that never got any press? They filled in when they had to. Since we're talking about forwards.
No, tell me.
I think it's Brule
What's
and
with
Kelly.
What's with you? You got think. Who asks trivia questions and don't know the answers? And they don't know the answers to them.
I forgot their first names. I think they're both.
You two over here.
Stevie Brule
trivia question.
And Steve
Give you an
Kelly.
answer. I don't know. I don't really know the answer. I don't know. We gotta look it up. Steve Kelly.
I just told you. Do you remember those two? They played like one or two games in the Stanley Cup playoffs. You don't remember?
Not as much, no, because they only played one or two games.
Yeah.
I remember Steve Kelly.
I wonder if their names are both on the cup. I believe so.
Don't you have to play a certain amount of games, and then you have to be.
Yeah.
You have to be a part of the team. I don't think it matters.
I mean, Mike Rupp has his name on the cup, doesn't he?
Yes. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Somebody else answer that question.
But Mike Rupp played a whole bunch of games.
Yeah, but that was his rookie season. 2003 was his rookie.
He played a lot.
Not really, not necessarily. I don't know if he played.
Oh no, wait. He came in right at the end, right? He just came in for that game. Well, when you score the series winning goal, then I guess you got to get your name on the cup there, right? Even though I always still feel like the Jeff Friesen goal was the one though that really sealed the deal because it put us up by 2, and that's the one that I always remember pumping, his arms after he scored that goal. That's the one. And he's another one. He's almost like Claude Lemieux in the sense where like he would have these like just lukewarm, regular seasons, and then all of a sudden once the playoffs start, he was just magical.
Lemieux was, but playoff wise, Lemieux was the best forward, one of the best forwards that we've ever had, hands down. That's not even close.
Gotta hear. Stevie Brule and Steve Kelly both have their names engraved on the cup.
Good for them.
There you go.
Isn't that crazy? That's amazing.
Hey, here's a little trivia question. What is the nationality that leads the team in forwards?
Canada.
So what?
Canadian.
So Canada comes in at 48.7%. Number 2, you could probably guess based off of that. So who's number 2?
USA.
Yep, USA 28.6. Number 3, this is where it gets hard. Nope.
Russia
6.3. Sweden is number 4. Number 5 is Czech. Number 6 is Finland.
Yep.
And now number 7 at 0.7 with only 2 forwards is Switzerland. And can you name both? Can you name both Switzerland-born forwards?
They're both forwards, not one defenseman.
I don't know. I mean,
well, Nico. Obviously,
this says only forwards right now.
Okay, so
forwards.
Nico.
What?
Who else is Swiss?
Who else is Swiss that played? Who played for the Devils?
Give me like a lot or a little. What is it?
There's only two. Obviously, it's Nico Heischer's one.
Right, we got that. The other guy? Is it? Did he play a lot of games? Did he play a little game? Is he like someone we don't even really think of?
Is he a scrub? Is he still alive?
Give me a hint.
No, that can't be right.
What?
That can't be right. All right, you take I'll give you a hint at how many games he's played. He played 77 games for the Devils.
Okay, so it's someone who has been around for a little bit. Okay.
Not terribly long ago.
Not terribly long ago. Is it someone that came from our system, or is it someone that we brought it? Oh, is it Damon Brunner?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Damon Brunner.
Is he Swiss?
He's Swiss. Apparently he's Swiss. Apparently.
I had no idea.
I had no idea either.
All right, so that's interesting that Nico is the only forward then of Swiss descent that we've drafted and come through our system. That's kind of interesting because Brunner was where was he, in Ottawa before?
Detroit,
right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, so let's talk about a few things. Let's talk about obviously we're talking about Elias. You did say you want to talk about Johnny Mack a little bit. Number 3 on games played. Actually, number 2 in games played, and number 3 in points. Who's number 2 in games played and number 3 in points?
Wasn't that Johnny Mack?
Nope.
For forwards?
Forward.
Number 2 in games played? Oh, didn't we say it was Jay Pandolfo?
No, dude.
We didn't say it was Jay Pandolfo?
No, number 2. Number 2 in games played and number 3 in points. With 550 points as a career Devil and 1,024 games.
It's got to be Travis Zajac. He's got that many points? Really?
Yeah.
500 points.
Yeah, 550.
Wow.
550.
Wow. Well, good for Travis. Oh yeah, look at that.
Looking at this list, I'm always curious to see
200 goals. Nice.
I'm always curious to see who is the one forward, or maybe even if you could think of a line. Sam was talking about the A line before. And I think that's one of the easy go-tos as a Devil fan because they were so good and they were so dynamic and whatever. But what is the one player, and God, this is such a big, long setup for this question, but what is the one player that we maybe had for a little bit that you wish we had longer? Maybe we had a little bit, you wish we had him in his prime. I mean, the easy answer would be like Jágr, of course, Jágr. Who wouldn't want Jágr in his prime? There's a player who's best friends with Patrick Elias that we didn't get until way, way, way later in his career was Havlet. I always wanted the Devils to get Havlet when he was a lot younger. He was a dynamic player, and having him and Elias on the same team would have been fun to watch. But, Lou would never kind of let that happen because one of the reasons, quote unquote, that the A-line got broken up was because the name on the front of the sweater is more important than the name on the back, blah, blah, blah. So, looking at these names, looking at the list, who do you think? What is the one guy that you're like, dang, I wish he would have stayed longer or whatever? Who do you like?
Damn, I just had someone in my head and now I just lost it.
Oh, by the way, Paul Mary played more games than Adam Henrique. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That feels weird.
Oh, we didn't even talk about Bobby Holik.
Yeah.
Who's someone that I wish stayed longer? Oh, man. Or that I wish we had in his prime. Who did you say? Yager.
That was an easy one. Brendan Shanahan. But although
Brendan Shanahan would be a good
getting
one.
rid of Shanahan was the reason we got Scott Stevens. So
Scott Stevens, Doug Gilmore,
yeah. McGillney in his prime. Even though McGillney came at the right time, like he helped the team win a cup, so it wasn't like it was for naught. But McGillney in his prime would have been a lot of fun to watch. Ilya Kovalchuk. Ugh. Ilya Kovalchuk.
No.
As much as I hate him. I mean, he was so fun to watch, though. Oh, my God, was he so fun to watch. Every time he came into the zone, you would stand up out of your seat because you thought something was going to happen.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, man.
You know what? I really did have high. I know he didn't want to stick around, but I did have high hopes for Brendan Borsen back in the day, and he turned out to be a decent player. You know, not as obviously as like superstar goal scorer that he did. You know, kind of came out on fire. There. He kind of.
I messed up. I was looking at something else. Paul Murray had more points than Adam Henrique, not games played. Sorry, I messed up. I was looking at something else. I know Bill Guerin. That's the name that I always think of.
Bill Guerin, that's another one too. Yeah,
wish he would have stuck with the Devils for a long time. Hated to see him go, but kind of, I guess it happened for the right reason. David Clarkson. I was always a big Clarkie fan.
Yeah, that contract was just no bueno.
No bueno.
Yeah.
Bobby Carpenter. Oh, 106 points for the Devils. There's a couple guys that came through the system that you're like, you know, they fit the mold. They played their role. But here's a forward that I was kind of bummed when he left. You know, his time might have been run out, but he did go on to win another cup with Chicago. Was John Madden. John Madden was the epitome of what the Devils were when they were winning cups. He was, I'll never forget, maybe Sam's got a better memory than I do. Sam, what game was it that Madden took it was like a slap shot to the face or took a stick to the face and he got busted open. They stitched him up and he came out and he had that huge like gash on his face. Do you remember that? It was during I want to say it was even. Was that 03? That was 03 during
03.
Against. Was that against the Ducks, or is that against Ottawa?
I think it was Ottawa, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it was a bad gash. There was a guy that used to sit in section 217. We called him Mailman Joe, and after that incident, every game he wore a Madden jersey and he like put some makeup on him, make it look like he had a gash on the side of his head, and he did that for every game. I mean, that's how hardcore, you know, some of our fans are.
Yeah, dude.
You know who I wish we got in his prime? Rob Niedermeyer.
Yeah, well, that would have helped keep Scotty there a little bit longer. That's for sure.
And here's another one too. Actually, here's two for you. Right with the Doug Gilmore, someone else who same sort of player that I wish stuck around for longer. Bernie Nichols, and then talk about another bust. Reed Boucher. Whew, they all played 83 games for the Devils.
Okay, so Reed Boucher, John Quenneville.
83 games. I can't believe that. He got 83 games.
Reed Boucher, I always had high hopes for that kid.
Everybody did.
John Quenneville was another one who in going into his draft year, I thought this kid was like a steal where the Devils got him. And that's the problem. The same thing that we're talking about last week about some of these defensemen. We're like, oh man, they got such a deal on this guy. Sometimes it is too good to be true because you look at it in the long run. You're like, this guy could never crack the NHL. Like, first of all, it looked like he was always wearing eye makeup, which was weird. But second of all, he would do pretty well in the AHL, but then he'd get into the NHL and he would like forget how to even get close to scoring a goal.
Yeah.
Kirk Muller, Captain Kirk. Okay. What year was his last year as a New Jersey Devil?
Oh,
91.
Really? Okay.
1991. 1991. 90-91 was his last season. Then he went to Montreal for 4. Then he went to the Islanders for 2. Toronto for 2. The Panthers for 3. The Dallas Stars. And I guess he won the cup with the Dallas Stars and or no. No, he lost to the Devils. He lost to the Devils when he became a Star. That's kind of ironic.
How about some of these names for you? Here's we just talked about Matthias Tedenbee getting 120 games. Jacob Josephson, 276 games played. Do you remember Dennis Peterson?
Yes.
Good 200. 200. He's a fourth line center though. Like he's never. What's he got? Like a career. We got 93 points. I mean, for a fourth line center, that's okay. Steven Gianta, 270 games. That's a lot of games for these guys. Tom Chorsky. Oh, old Tom Chorsky. Blake Coleman, Pickles, 237 games. Jesper Bratt, 231, and Nico, 230. They're getting up there too.
Did you guys mention Stefan Matteau? Remember
we
when,
did.
Yep.
We did.
It's good to know you weren't paying attention before, Sam Wu.
I had to take a break.
Yeah, to poop.
But anyway, we should probably get to our final thoughts here.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? All right, then I'll end on this on my final thoughts. That we didn't, like with these best and worst and stuff like that. I think we more talked about games played and kind of talked about fond memories and things like that. Not really naming best and worst. It's also hard to do sometimes because our opinions might vary from other people's opinions. But
we named some busts and everything like that, and we talked about some of the best ones. Yeah, we did.
But one of the things that I'm glad we didn't do, the one thing that I'm glad we didn't do, and this will be my final thought for the show, is we didn't say Nico Hischier is the best and Jack Hughes is the best because they're not there yet. They're young, they're extremely talented, and the future is very bright for both of these young forwards. There's a lot of very promising forwards on this team that are going into this year. Igor Sharangovich is showing a lot. I don't know if anybody else is watching the Worlds or what's going on with Team Belarus over there, but our boy's doing pretty well. I'm happy to see where this team is forward-wise. I would love them to add another piece here, but I'm looking forward to seeing these boys this year. Only 2 weeks away until training camp. I'm getting pumped. So, Scotty, final thought.
All right, well, I think they got some time before they outdo number 26 over here behind me. So,
a lot of time.
Yeah. Just a couple quick things. I forgot to mention it last week. Happy birthday, Dimebag Darrell Abbott. Welcome back, CM Punk. Happy birthday, Rob Halford of Judas Priest. And I just want to give a special shout out to my man, big fan of the show, Roger Allen Wade. He's a good buddy of mine. And I know right now he's just a little sick. So we're sending him all the outlaw hockey vibes that we possibly can. And we're going to get him out there picking and playing real soon. So, Raj, if you happen to be listening right now, I love you, buddy. Let's go Devils.
My final thought, I've been shouting all day. I did my demo for the Devils PA announcer job, that contest. I'll be submitting it tomorrow. And it was a lot of fun. It's not as easy as it looks. I can tell you that.
See, I got the voice for it. I got the voice for it, but you guys know I can't pronounce half the names on anybody's team, so I'd be like, and this goal scored by not gonna be here anymore. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
McClane.
McClane. Michelle McKeon. Oh, I'm out of here.
Well, that's all, folks. We'll see you next time. Let's go, Devils.